And by the way, the first dude that he kills is the black dude.
Don't even touch him.
Man, did you notice his shirt didn't even get sliced?
You're right.
Y'all thought I was playing. Tonight I want to keep it as a surprise to you guys because I hadn't, I love bad movies. And there's so many bad movies that of course I can't possibly watch them all. But I do try to watch a few recommendations that people give me, and our lovely co-host, Christopher Juicy Herman, he said, well, I don't know if you've ever seen this one, but you have to watch it. It's a movie called Blind Fury. And apparently this has been out for a while. It was a mainstay like on Showtime or HBO, one of those. It even came in tonight, and I was so excited to tell you guys about it. I was like, man, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to be talking about this movie, Blind Fury. I'm like, man, that shit been out for long. What the f*** are you talking about that for? What the I saw that shit on Showtime 20 years ago.
He's like, I know you can say Blind Fury, right?
Yeah.
I know. Hold on.
You better find something else. I had to just let him get it out of his system. I had to sit here and just take the abuse. And I said, but Martin,
Take the abuse. Okay, I ain't jumping on that one.
Try. You've seen it, but imagine how. Now you have children, Martin. You've seen the world, but you never saw the world like you did through the eyes of your kids. So
that's exactly how that whole conversation went.
That's exactly how it went. And I said, Martin, fresh eyes right here, Martin. And I told him, I said, man, you think you know Blind Fury. You think you know what you saw, but you don't know, Martin. That was then, Martin. That was a whole different time. That was a different world back then. This movie takes on a whole new life today.
Today, okay.
This time.
And then he flew away into the heavens.
I will be back.
That's exactly how everything went.
I can actually show Martin a fresh perspective on Blind Fury. And then he won't be so angry at me for putting this movie up tonight to review it. I hope to make him proud. And listen, a lot of you're young out there. You haven't seen this before. You don't know what this is. This is new to you. You ever seen this before?
No, never.
Chris, you ever seen this before? See, look at this. Some people out there. Man, you got to stop thinking the world's about you, man. And some of you might not even know the movie, but you know the name in the face, Rutger Hauer.
Oh, yeah.
Just recently passed away, so this is another thing. Almost in honor of Rutger Hauer right here.
Is it though?
It is. Now, a lot of young people might not have seen Blind Fury, but a lot of people really have seen Blade Runner, where he was a badass replicant in that classic sci-fi feature.
I watched sea beams glitter in the dark.
You're like, what kind of shit were you on?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You're like, what? I don't know what you own, but I want some. Well, it turns out not only is he a badass sci-fi clone or replicant, whatever you want to call him, but he's also a badass blind man too.
Unreasonable men make life so difficult. Shoot!
Oh, this is a movie where you have Rutger Hauer, who kind of turns into he's a Vietnam vet who loses his eyesight, and thanks to circumstances I'll let you know about in a little bit, turns into a cross between a samurai and Daredevil. and you know what? I played
It's just like an Asian movie that they just whitewashed.
That's completely what it is.
Yeah.
Shit, that's when you could get away with whitewashing because Asians couldn't say shit and nobody else could. They put that motherfucker right in the wash with a ton of bleach, whole bottle. Because he's playing an Asian dude. I mean, he's not, but he's the archetype of the lone Asian warrior,
swordsman.
the blind swordsman. Yeah. And they just stole that shit. He's a badass in the movie, man. It's just too bad that the rest of the movie is a piece of shit. And I say that in the nicest way. I say that in the most complimentary way, man, because I love this movie. I fucking love this film. It's bad, but you know what? It's bad to the point where the filmmakers, they know how to make it fun still. It was almost like the filmmakers just gave up and just they gave up and just started laughing with you. You know, they realize that, like, you know what, it's almost like they started seriously, and then they realized, yeah, this is some bullshit, and they would just end on the joke themselves.
They just said,
They just said,
Did I just see Noble Willingham in there?
yes, you did.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, you know what? I'll go ahead. You saw a little bit of the trailer, but I'll play the whole trailer for you. Because the whole trailer would give you everything you need to know, and then I will come in and shake that shit up all around and show you, because you haven't seen the whole movie. The trailer shows you a lot of good stuff, but you haven't seen the whole film. The whole film has, if you think the trailer's fun, if you think the trailer's crazy, you in for a treat for the whole movie, which you will get a lot of, as I tell you about with my review, right after the trailer.
Mr. Prasad, blind man.
But his timing was a little off.
Get me Bruce Lee.
First of all, the movie starts out not explaining shit. I mean, there's a crash. You see him crawling around from a helicopter, being a Vietnam vet, and he's going through the swamp. And, you know, they don't explain anything really after that as far as, like, the circumstances that lead to him being what he is, a superhero that he is. They just need a reason to just quickly make him blind and to make him a samurai. To the point, it don't even make any sense. It starts out when he's going through the swamp and he's caught by the Viet Cong. Now, they don't kill him when they get him. They don't even torture him. They don't question him. They take him in. They take him in like it's a. They take him in. They take him to the. They take him to the local spa. To where they do the local spa where they put aloe vera on his eyes. And apparently they really like him. They like him enough to where they make him an honorary villager. They don't explain why they like him so much. They don't explain why they chose to give him special treatment in this village or anything. It's just, like I said, they need a reason just to teach him to be a samurai. And and it gets to the point where not only do they teach him the ways of the village, but they teach him the ways of their combat, how to work a Vietnamese samurai sword.
oh, I was going to say, what?
Yeah, which he learns from a very tiny Vietnamese man. They never admit it, but he falls in love with him. I mean, come on.
I know, yeah, I saw it.
Dude, I love how the movie, first of all, just doesn't give a shit about Asian culture, where it just puts all of it together. Mm-hmm. You know, he's learning to be a Japanese samurai by the Vietnamese.
Right.
they're like, you know what? It is all Asian to me.
Right.
You know?
I mean, the countries are close, right?
Vietnamese, they say, hey, you know what? Once you learn how to slice up fruit, you're good. Apparently, when you slice a cantaloupe in midair, you've graduated. We didn't see him kill one man. We saw him kill a piece of fruit, and that was all he needed. It was almost like that cantaloupe was
terrorizing
the village, man. It was almost like the seven samurai, where fruit was coming in, terrorizing the neighborhood. And like, oh, thank God that cantaloupe was going to kill us. Years later, he goes to the States. He goes to Florida to go see an old friend, and then
that's where you up right there.
Yeah.
well, you know, that's the thing is, man, just like the lone warrior, you know, the lone samurai, first of all, they never say how he makes his money. They never say how he's eating anything. He's just wandering the land.
Oh, well, David Carradine set that up in Kung Fu, how he would just walk across America, not with no real job.
Well, apparently that plan works because this man, his clothes are clean. And by the way, he's walking. He don't even have a backpack full of clothes. He's just walking, man, with the clothes on his back. Shit is just as white, like he just pulled that shit out the laundry. And, you know, and he's on his way to meet a friend. Now, of course, like the lone samurai, the lone warrior, the blind swordsman as we have right here, but more like the lone warrior. Of course, man, he just wants to wander the land in peace, doesn't want to be bothered, wants to be alone.
Leave him alone, yeah.
Just leave him alone and he'll leave you alone. In fact, he wants to be your friend if he can. You know, he got some wisdom to drop.
Right.
You know, I got all this fortune cooking knowledge for your ass, you know? But you know, that's not possible in the States, man. Every time he leaves people alone, trouble finds him. Mm-hmm. And we get to see him put those skills to use. First of all, he's going to work his way up to the white people. But first, he got to show you how he does it on a group of Mexicans right here. He goes into this diner where there's a group of Mexicans who are waiting to with anybody who goes through the door. First person to go through the door. And I'm not even talking about trying to get your money or rob you or anything. They like to pull pranks. And they see this blind man come in and they just put all the hot sauce on this burrito.
Oh, damn.
Muchas gracias.
De nada.
The way he was looking too, like, he was to suck him off the way he was doing it.
Tongue hanging all out.
If you can take that, maybe you can handle me, big boy.
I'll with you and then I'll with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so does he eat it and smile? Or
Of course he eats it. He's
okay, I thought you might find a way to just squeeze it and squirt the
Oh
hot
no,
sauce on
man!
the other dude.
Man, he's trained in the way of the cantaloupe.
Okay.
Man, he eats it and he tastes and he's like, at first he looked.
hand
It's
me the
good,
hot
but
sauce,
Yeah.
but that's what he
Hot
does. He's like,
sauce?
but could be a little more spicier. And then they're all like, oh, you, man. You know, and they get frustrated. Like, oh, you just ruined the joke. You, man. And the thing, I was gonna you too. You know?
I was gonna tear that ass.
I was gonna tell that man, you about to get some good loving, but you had to ruin the joke. Woman walks to the door and they turn from pranksters,
into rapists.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's what I love.
Look at that mother. You know the rest of them.
Yeah, my question is he blind? It's like he threw that.
They were like, God damn, man, you threw it right at this motherfucker.
It's right here. You could have handed it to me.
And being at the Mexican, of course, now this is in Florida, but he finds the only burrito place where they have the hottest hot sauce. And of course, since with a ton of Mexicans who love to with people.
Yeah, in Florida, that would be Cubans, and they don't like hot sauce.
And they don't like hot sauce. Oh, but then when the purse goes over there, the wrong person, it slides over to him, and he hears that they're with this girl. He's got to do something. But of course, being at the Mexicans, you know they got a blade on them.
Are you sure it goes with your dress?
Mother. Don't take much for him to just escalate.
Yeah, no, quick.
First it was just hot sauce. Now I'm gonna rape her.
I know.
Oh, you dead, man.
I know. He's like, you calling me gay? Well, you did try to me a little while ago.
Right. And yes, it does go with my dress.
Yeah.
Gracias.
De nada.
You're right.
If you ain't got no dress on, you got some panties on.
Right, exactly.
You know, but
How you gonna say the nada like that and then get mad when he makes a homophobic joke about you?
yeah. And then of course he beats their ass.
It's like Three Stooges.
Okay, it's like Jackie Chan, the Three Stooges.
Oh, it is. And watch this cartoon shit right here.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
You know what? He's doing that Asian thing too. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm serious.
I'm so sorry.
I'm
Oh,
serious.
I'm so sorry. Of course they get their ass beat.
I mean, it's barely even an ass.
Yeah, I know. That's not really.
Kind
might
of
as well
knocked
had
on the head.
Might as well had a broomstick.
I mean, all I was missing there was.
Yeah. But turns out that he's in town to go meet this this dude that he's in Vietnam with. And it was funny because the dude, and I'll tell you the dude is much later, but the dude, he finds the dude's family, find his wife who looks like she's blind.
Wow.
Too. Finds his wife and kid.
Meg, what's her name? I forgot her last name.
But he and the husband just husband just totally abandoned his family right here. Just gone. Got himself. You find later he got a new young thing, got a new chippy and shit. Just left them. And she's like, we ain't here. But you know what I tell you? Wrong place at the wrong time always. And it turns out that this family, you know, the husband went off and did something stupid, and now he's got some really bad people, some shady people after him, and led by Noble Willingham, who is the guy that we're always talking about in the Corn Dog Man.
Yeah. Also, the guy's about to go run the ranch in City Slickers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he gets there just in time when the bad guys show up to kidnap the family, to show the dad that they mean business. Now, that's when I learned, because the movie's really goofy. Movie's goofy as but that's when I learned just how violent this movie really is.
Oh, shit.
Hey, man, don't bring a gun to a sword fight.
Yeah. that bloody rubber stump right there.
I know.
I wanted the hand to keep shooting when it went down. I was like, God damn, okay, they're serious. But you also at this point get to see just how bad the villains and the henchmen are. Because first of all, either they're really bad actors. There's some people who do some really bad death scenes in this, like, you think I'm exaggerating? And by the way, the first dude that he kills is the black dude.
Don't even touch him.
Man, did you notice his shirt didn't even get sliced?
You're right.
Y'all thought I was playing.
No, but he was waiting on it. Remember, he was looking like Richard Pryor, just waiting.
He was like Richard Pryor.
No, before he even starts slicing, look at him in the corner. He's like,
Is he about to cough up a piece of chicken?
look, he ate something bad. He ate the hot sauce.
No blood.
Sound like he just had the Heimlich maneuver on it.
God.
Y'all thought I was playing. They got some terrible actors in here, man. Some terrible actors.
But he was sitting there waiting on it. like,
One more. Yeah, he like he was trying to hide. He was trying to hide and caught his ass. Look at this. Wait a minute.
He had no direction.
That is appalled.
He's in there clutching his pearls waiting.
Man, he didn't even touch him. He just scared him to death.
Yeah. As an actor, he said, well, how do I know when to react if he's not going to cut me for real? Look, he's not going to cut you for real. You have to act, all right? I know what to tell you, man. Come on. You can
What do I
this.
do right before he comes in? Oh, my God. I don't have time for this. Action.
So either they're really bad actors or they're just dumb as. Hey, here's a hint for future villains in movies, and you probably don't need to be told this because you're smart enough not to do it. But don't ever hire killers who can't stop eating while they're on the job, especially popcorn.
Look at him tearing that shit up.
Look at this.
In a cornfield.
So maybe it's fresh.
You can even hear him eating this.
Sure is good. I'm ready for anything. He got his rifle on his shoulder.
That's one of the hired henchmen. He's
That's
up there
one.
eating popcorn.
That's one. Not just a henchman. That's a killer. That is a hitman.
Yeah, and he's got his rifle laying on the shoulder. Like,
Yeah, look at
it's not even ready for
this
nothing.
dumb hillbilly motherfucker right here.
Tearing that popcorn up.
And yes, in case you need to know, he dies. Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
Really?
This hungry motherfucker can't stop me to do his job. They are going after their prey right now. They're trying to find his ass. And he's stopping on a lunch break. They spend more time killing each other.
Shoot.
You see his eyes too? They had to really make him look redneck.
Oh, yeah.
They had him.
Well, you sure that he didn't just already not like that dude?
No, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
There is a scene in there where these two dudes are always fighting. And of course, since you already saw people on the same team killing each other, those people liked each other. They had these two dudes. One of them played by John Cassavetes. Or Nick Cassavetes. Nick Cassavetes.
Wow.
One of them played by Nick Cassavetes, man. Those two dudes don't like each other. In a movie where dudes are already shooting each other who like each other, it's only a matter of time before these guys blow each other away.
Come on, shoot him! Okay! Go! Come on, Brother Lyle.
Let's talk this through.
And dang, what did you do that for? Yeah, they
Nah,
shoot each other.
shooting Victor. That's up for your ass.
They didn't go through the whole movie fighting each other.
Yeah, well, nah, he shot his ass in the head that time. That's it.
Shot him through that straw hat.
Yeah.
But there is one villain in here that is a badass. And they gave him a badass named Slag.
Man, you couldn't have a 80s low-rated action movie without Randall Tex Cobb.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Randall Tex Cobb. Because I've seen this dude. I just know his name.
He was in
He's in a lot of
fucking
stuff.
everything.
Yeah, he plays Slag in this, man, and of course he's the badass. First of all, you know he's a badass because he's the one that tells all the other villains to shut up.
This wasn't part of the deal, Slag. Shut up.
Go back to that Negro, man. God damn, brother.
He's like, shut your no acting ass.
Look at it right now.
I know, trying to buck up.
Like, he can't even get that. Pardon you, Flag.
That brother tried. That's what I think.
Spit the oatmeal out your mouth.
I think
man.
that character wasn't even supposed to die, but he was acting so bad that they had to kill his ass. I mean, look at this dude. When he ain't even saying anything, he's trying too hard.
This wasn't part of the deal, Slag. Shut up.
Next time, I'm not gonna keep taking this shit.
Okay. I'm just saying you should make an amendment to the contract.
But he's a leader, man, because he does everything big. He always makes the most dramatic exits.
That's not bad for a blind man. It ain't gonna stop no bullet.
Everybody's like, man, the door is right there.
He was upstairs. Ain't gonna start no bullet. People just jump through windows in movies. Don't get cut up.
Oh, not get cut up, but you gotta admire his. He was like all about getting out of there because he jumped in mid sentence. He's like, because I'm gonna make him think I'm gonna finish what I'm saying.
I ain't finishing this.
Yeah. That's one of those like, you'll never get me alive.
Yeah. But he was like, it ain't gonna start no bullet.
Stop no bullet.
He was Batman, right? But also with Slag, man, Slag is so evil that he gets that evil laugh that comes with thunder. Got echo on it too. Man, the funny thing is, the villains in this, the bad guys, I like the bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they make me laugh. They're funny, you know. They got they got that charm in a up no acting kind of way. So I like the villains. The villains are cool. The good guys though, those are the ones that get on my nerves. Starting with that fucking kid, man. That kid kills me, man. That kid when they bring him in, that kid, the moment that they introduce him, I hate this kid. They give him the worst introduction. This kid right here, the moment he comes on, he's a piece of shit. Like he has no respect for the handicap at all.
See you later, Mr. Parker. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Billy.
That motherfucker got chimes that play too. He comes with his own music.
That's a little dick movie, dude.
You think that would stop him? You think that would calm his ass? He almost got his little hand broken. He's goddamn, his samurai music chimed in and shit. You think he'd leave this motherfucker alone?
Wait, but he does it again?
Yeah, but he stuck with him because the wife, man, they don't give a fuck about her. They take her ass out. They take her ass out quick.
I'm surprised she didn't shoot laser beams out of her eyes.
I mean, yeah, they take the wife out quick. They don't give a fuck. Like she got the husband left her. Damn. Got people coming after her, and then they just take her out as soon as possible.
Let me see.
Jesus.
Yeah, man, they get rid of her quick. So the kid is stuck with him because she has the like dying words. She's like, "Don't let Billy die." She's like, "What? Like you?" And they take her.
Jesus.
They take her ass out quick. But
with a shotgun.
With a shotgun took her kidneys out quick. But so he's stuck with this kid, and he's trying to protect the kid. But there's a point where I swear to God, he's like, I'm gonna let these gangsters get your ass because the kid has it's one thing to have no disrespect for the handicap, but this little motherfucker, he takes pleasure in the pain of the handicap.
Oh, come on. Oh, you little shit.
Look at him, just Chucky looking at his ass off. Laughing his ass off, man.
Looking like Ricky Schroeder.
Shrieking. Loves that shit. Look at him. Sound like Salacious Crumb.
Little bastard, man.
Yeah.
Little ass bitch. And then starts playing pranks on my man right here. Like he knows he's blind.
Christ.
Yes. starts looking at, laughing at him, disrespecting him, and then he picks up a rock. picks up a rock and say, "Hey, you want some candy?"
They gave me a piece of candy in the store.
Hey, he's about to look at me like, I broke your teeth.
This is right after
Broke
he
your
fell.
molars.
And this is right after he fell.
This is right after he fell.
Jesus
Like
Christ.
right after he fell, he got up and he found when he went to go help him up, he found a rock in the dirt and just said, "Yeah, I'm with this dude some more." Immediately, little evil right here. Look at him, little evil mother. And then
So he found the rock as he was helping him.
as he was helping him, he's like, I'm gonna make him think I like him.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Jesus
with him some more.
Christ.
And it got to a point where even Rutger Hauer said, "You know what? I ain't gonna kill him yet, but I got to hurt him. I got to hurt him to let him know how I stand with him."
I knew I was coming.
He shot that mother.
Because he learned his lesson. That's what I want to know first.
Do they mellow out with the kid? Well, the answer is yes, and probably a little bit too much. Now, this is something you probably don't remember. There's a point where they, as the kid starts to mellow out, they start to get closer. He sees the blind fury, Rutger Hauer, as his protector now and his friend. He starts even calling him his uncle.
Yeah.
And that bond forms fast, forms hard, and probably forms a little too much, man. It's there are some scenes in here where it's like in context, and I'm not even editing these things out to look like this. There's some parts in here where it's like, man, were y'all meaning for this to seem like a romantic relationship? It starts at first with some things where you're like, all right, this is just a little, this is a little sexual childish joke that I'm making up in my head right now.
Slide your butt through your arms.
I mean, hey, y'all listen, you call me childish, but y'all see this shit, you know. But just in
He
case.
had to make that sound.
Well, maybe when the kid rolled, he sat on his balls.
Yeah. Slide your butt in. Oh, yeah. Okay, you can let that slide. All right, you know what? They didn't mean anything. It might have come out a little wrong, but look, man, so quit being childish about it. But listen, this relationship gets a little too close, man. It does feel like there's, at any moment, they're about to start kissing and making out, man. They get just a little bit too close. You know, it's in those movies where people want to kiss, but they don't. They're just not sure yet. That's exactly what's happening here.
Don't leave me. Everybody leaves me.
Protect the women. I'll be back.
He's like, hey, all right, maybe that was a one-shot thing right there.
And also, the bad ADR there doesn't help either.
No.
Don't leave me.
Yeah.
Don't leave me.
Maybe that was just one thing. We can let that slide. But no, this is a budding romantic relationship.
I'm very, very fond of you. Me one favor.
Kid's like, oh, not again.
You do me one favor. Fucking let go of me. I'm not again. Oh.
I already did what you asked. You can call me whatever you want to call me. You say I see whatever I want to see, and I do see it. I'm sorry.
Crying more then than when his mama died.
I was like, at the whole time I'm watching, I was like, just break it up. You know, it's fucking 2 feet.
Leave some space for
Just,
God.
hey, get off this boy.
Squirt bottle.
There's no blood at all. The vampires must come in and just drain this town dry, because he goes through a scene where he's slicing all kind of people. Ain't a drop. The room is littered with dead bodies. Bodies that he sliced up. Bodies that he cut up. Like he cut a mother nuts. Look at this. He gutted somebody.
Yeah.
He gutted somebody.
Groin the sternum.
No guts though. Look at the blade hardly dirty. Like there's hardly any blood on that. Now watch this when they pull out. No blood at all. Man, he should be slipping and sliding on plasma right now.
Well, it's like those first couple of X-Men movies with Wolverine.
Yeah, but
he would slice it in
yeah,
the
but
There's
be
no
nothing.
blood.
No blood. But that was PG-13. It's a rated R movie, man.
Yeah.
He sliced all. He gutted a mother like a fish. It ain't no guts on the floor at all. Just that
Plenty
floor
of blood
is dry
on the
as
sword,
fuck.
though.
What's that?
Plenty of blood on the sword.
No,
right there.
man, that's crazy. The only thing that's bleeding is his sword.
He was like, ouch.
I told you, man.
He looks like he's at a slumber party. There's no blood anywhere. Look, everybody's laying on the
I
ground.
was like, man, it's late. We going to sleep.
There's a point where they even give up, man. They give up on trying to be there's no blood. The movie's goofy, so they just embrace it. They kind of start out a little bit serious, but then they just start. they just start becoming like just a silly film, man. In fact, the movie, at some points, first of all, the movie feels like it's not even just a comedy, because it feels like a comedy sometimes.
Yeah.
Like there's points in here where they have straight up jokes from a TV show.
I said get out!
I knew it.
Hey, right.
Yeah, that's one reason I always voted for gun control.
Sometimes it turns straight up into a kids movie too. There are moments where they're home alone. They have a lot of home alone moments in this film.
The sound
Blank.
that was Home Alone.
He's Kevin from Home Alone, man. Laughing at these criminals. He's not scared at all, man.
Yeah, not scared.
And like I said, they just give up. They know what it is. So now that they know that it's a comedy, it's even a kids film, they just don't give a shit about. They don't give a shit about physics. They don't give a shit about the law. They got the craziest car chase in here. Imagine this. It's the middle of the day. A car is steering into ongoing traffic, driven by a blind man, being chased by gangsters, shooting at them. No police. How does he do it? And by the way, he loves it. He's loving it.
He's having a blast.
He's a good guy. He's loving this. He's loving this. To the point he makes a joke about it. Well, I guess I should go get my driver's license. Shut the f up. It never stops with the dumb shit, and it only gets better. Near the end of the movie, that's when they pull out all the stops. They pull out every piece of shit cliche. They pull out every piece of shit goofy moment of the movie. This movie is even influential to some people. The ending is amazing, man. Because to show you how authentic his skills are, you probably know where I'm going with this.
No, actually, because what I'm remembering now is how I was excited about this movie. I think I had read about it coming out, and then saw that Showtime was showing it. I was shocked. Oh, it's coming on. I thought it was gonna be in a theater.
Yeah.
And then sitting there watching it all pumped up, and then I started watching this shit. I think I turned it off before it got to the end.
Okay, so yeah, man. Oh, Mark, you should have stayed. You should stay for the end, because first of all, like I said, to show you how authentic his skills are, they have to have him fight some random Asian dude that you never saw in the movie that they pull out of nowhere. He's hired by Noble Willing. He's hired by the main bad guy to be the video game boss that you got to fight at the end. And keep in mind, this is 1989, back when every Asian in a movie came with their own gong sound effect.
Oh. Yeah, don't throw fruit.
It's like back in my village.
Like, thanks for slicing that for me. But the shit gets offensive too. Not only has this man,
It gets offensive.
It gets more offensive. It gets even more offensive than that. Not only has this man co-opted Asian culture, but since he's a samurai, he knows more about Asian people than they do.
Yeah.
He can tell what Asian you are by just touching your face.
Japanese, huh?
He's like, how'd you guess that shit?
That's racist as hell.
Really? That is, man.
Oh my God, dude, that's really racist.
They don't give a f***, man.
Oh,
I can tell by how your skull slopes, which
that's
which
what
Asian
say.
you are.
Yeah. Oh, a Negro, huh? What are you doing? Stop. James on my lips, man.
I can tell by your lips, Filipino.
Yeah. Wide nose. Gotcha.
But I tell you, no matter how bad this movie gets, no matter how dumb this movie may seem, no matter how offensive it is, it has influenced movies worse than this is. The final death scene in the movie is amazing. The final death scene in this movie is so incredible that George Lucas was watching this and he says, I've got to use that in my next film. know who died like that in Star Wars. It's the same thing. It's the same shit, man.
Except for apparently they went to Dick Tracy land when they found on those Alps or whatever that was. That mountain looked so drawn.
Oh, that mountain.
Oh my God. That was horrible.
Oh, that big ass green screen they had with
That wasn't even no green screen, man. That was a drawing.
And this man loves windows, man.
He looked like he fell into a spa.
I like the way the legs were still moving.
Put this wood around the outside of the glass.
Yeah.
It looked like he knocked him to the room. It didn't look like it was outside.
You're right, because that means that the whatever building they're in butted up against the edge of the mountain.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
I mean, why are you trying to make physics
Plus,
out of this?
plus, he was propelled out of that window with his feet up in the air. You don't get that from a cut. You have to be blown by a cannon
that
to
wasn't
fly
just
out
any
like that.
cut, Martin. That wasn't just any cut. This was done by the sushi chef of humans, man. Look at that window. See the sides?
Oh, his legs are still kicking.
So you see his leg, one of those legs still got a little steaky leg going on. It's going down. And of course, I'm not going to spoil any of the ending for you. I would just say that.
Come on, he took us this far.
I would just say that there's another homoerotic moment between him and the kid. Kid wants him to go. It's an old Yeller moment.
Okay,
Shane moment. Yeah, Shane, don't go. And he's like, no, I gotta go because there's other adventures out there waiting for me. He hits the road, and they show like kung fu. He just starts to walk the earth.
David Banner.
Starts to walk he's with that backpack. David Banner with the Hulk with that backpack. Except his theme ain't so sad as the Hulk. This one's got a little more pep to it, complete with keyboard saxophone.
Of course. To the credits end with the samurai will return.
Yeah, all right.
It might as well, man.
In the Bahamas, apparently, because
maybe that's where he's going.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah. Some things worth mentioning right here, real quick. The husband,
nothing.
The husband is played by Terry O'Quinn, the one I told you that left the family.
Oh, yeah.
Terry O'Quinn.
Locke from Lost.
Exactly, John Locke
He
from
looks
Lost,
so
man.
different there.
Yeah, because he's younger. And you know what? Once you meet him, he's even worse. Like, you find out that he left the family. And by the way, nothing happens to him. He actually gets to leave safe. Wife is dead. Kid is traumatized, but he leaves safe with this new Chippy.
He's a little Chippy,
He gets to keep the kid now. And you learn that he's also a fucking coward. Like, he left. The reason why Rutger Hauer is blind is because Rutger Hauer was fighting off a bunch of Viet Cong, and this asshole left him. Oh. So now he's trying to apologize for it later in the movie.
I tried to. I just couldn't.
Frank, my life changed.
Yeah, I'm fucking blind. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, he got better looking as he got older, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he actually did. He did, man. And there's just so many funny things in here, man. Too much to go through. But I love it in the movie how you have the fat black version of Pulp Fiction in here. You actually have a fat Jules.
He has Jerry curl too.
Jerry curl.
He got a curl too. And Faison loves a sweaty ass older brother.
Yeah, man. It's
Two
straight
big
up
ass
Pulp
milk
Fiction
duds.
right there. Black fat Pulp Fiction going on.
Milk dud fiction.
There's so much.
If it's 89, that's pre-Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying they were first.
Yeah.
Maybe Quentin Tarantino loves to steal, man.
He does.
He probably saw this and just said, "Hey, you know what? I'll just make it thinner."
What you mean he probably saw this?
Oh yeah.
He was jacking off to this movie.
People, the movie is Blind Fury. My new love. I love this film. I love this movie, man. I'm not even lying. You know I love bad films. I love old bad films, man, because they just don't make bad movies like they used to, Martin.
That's true.
And I love this film, man. 1989 is when this came out. You can rent this on YouTube. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere else. I didn't have a chance to look, but hey, listen, this is a great viewing party. I'm thinking about actually having a viewing party because the best thing about it is that it's only an hour and 26 minutes, man. It's not long at all. I'll breeze through this today. It's a lot of fun.